confused. And y'all fired Kenya? You guys fired Kenya. I am thoroughly confused, right? So if you've been watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, then you know that even before this season began to air, there were all sorts of rumblings and murmurings that were happening online about Kenya getting into it with this girl and putting out revenge corn. I said corn TikTok, okay? And because Kenya allegedly put out this revenge corn, Kenya was let go from the show. And so when I was hearing these stories, I kept saying to myself, well, why did Kenya do that, right? Now, we've seen what Kenya did when she took the marching band and went into Marlo's show, so we know Kenya can be petty. But this just didn't make sense for me. It was off brand for Kenya to simply just go out here and do this to someone for absolutely no reason. So I needed to know why she did what she did. So fast forward to this season and we get to episode 1. Let's start at episode 1 when we're at Shamia's birthday party. This girl, I think her name is Brittany, Kenya asked her something about her ring, just making casual conversation. And by Kenya asking that question, she took it and turned it into, the War of the Roses at that point. Now she's going around telling people how Kenya's jealous of her relationship. What? And Kenya's mad because she has a man who loves her. And she took a very simple question, you guys, and really tried to turn it into a storyline, basically. And those of us who are on the outside looking in were just scratching our heads befuddled because, what are you talking about? Because she asked you about a ring. It wasn't that serious. The ring didn't mean a thing. Okay? So she's going on and on and on behind Kenya's back. So finally, fast forward to the most recent episode. They're having a little dinner party and they're asking questions. And they ask Kenya, essentially, can she say something nice or can she speak directly to Brittany or can she talk nice? And Kenya basically said, listen, I can be nice or kind and have a conversation with anyone. And when Kenya said that, she says, no, they asked about me. They didn't ask about everyone. Do I need to read the question again? Kenya was like, I'm answering the question. I can have a conversation. No, they asked about me. And Kenya just basically said, you know what? I don't sit here and argue with peasants. I'm going to get up. I'm going to leave, blah, 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 blah. And so by Kenya saying she's not going to argue with this girl because she wanted the moment and Kenya refused to give it to her, right? And it was a moment denied. And I really feel like that was part of what set her off because she wanted Kenya to have this back and forth with her. And Kenya said, baby, access denied. And closed the door and got up and left. And when she gets up and leaves, you hear the girl talking about how she'll pull out her pistol and how she's going home to her man who loves her. And let me tell you about something, right? When you hear someone talking about how much their man loves them, like it's a flex, we've been watching Housewives for too long, and we know how the facade can crumble in an instant, girl. Like, you're not fooling anybody. People in a relationship will have a tendency, and I'm in a relationship, right? I've been in a relationship for 3 years, and right? And there are some days when I love my man, and there are some days when I want to scratch his eyes out. But you'll never hear me just bragging about, how fantastic my relationship is, because just like most relationships, my relationship, too, has its challenges. Everyone's does. And sitting on here talking about, you're going home to a man that loves you through your deviated septum. It's just like, what was the point of that? I don't understand, how you went from her not talking to you to talking about, you're going home to a man that loves you. Again, it's a flex. Here's the thing. I need people to stop pretending like Kenya Moore is not Kenya Moore. I need people to understand that Kenya Moore is a beautiful woman, and if she's single, it's because she wants to be single. I'm sure there are a line of men at Kenya's door who would welcome the opportunity to take her off the market. But she has a daughter, she's being selective, and she's taking her time before she chooses a new partner, as she should. I have a feeling your relationship is not what you're trying to make it out to be, Miss Deviated Septum. But anyways, so she starts talking about how she's going to pull out a pistol. Now, all the while, Kenya is unbothered, on her way to get into the car, leaving. At some point in the car, you hear Kenya say, that girl has got to go, which she's right. And it's got me sitting here thinking, how was Kenya the one that was let go when this girl threatened her with a pistol, not once but twice? I heard her say something about a pistol 2 times. And I may have missed 1 or 2, but I at least heard her mention a pistol 2 times, right? How do you, Bravo, when I say you, I'm talking about you, Bravo, I'm talking about you, Andy Cohen. How do you create a hostile work environment where abuse is standardized, normalized, validated, supported, encouraged, and then get upset when someone behaves in a manner that is conducive to the environment that you've created? Kenya didn't threaten this woman's life. Kenya simply held up a mirror. Look at what you've done, ma'am. It's not revenge corn at that point. At that point, it's get out of my face, girl corn. At that point, it's quit playing with me, girl corn, right? It's at that point, girl, we're going back and forth corn. At that point, I'm being petty corn. Because you threatened my life. I have a child. And you're threatening my life because I asked you about a ring? And you're threatening my life because I called you a peasant and refused to argue with you and give you the moment that you wanted on television, and now you're upset because you won't get the notoriety and fame that you wanted off of my notoriety and fame? It's not happening, baby. So I really don't understand how Kenya was the one that was let go. I don't even watch the show right now, right? And I'm glad I'm not watching it, because I would say people should be boycotting the show, because it's not fair that Kenya went home. It's not fair. I've only seen clips online of what happened, but based on what I've seen, it's like, what? Just say you didn't have the money to pay Kenya. Just say Kenya was too expensive. Just say that you let Candy go. Candy was expensive. You got rid of Nene. Nene was expensive. You know, Kenya was really the last holdout who was getting a big payday. Now we have all of these other B-cast girls on here. We can pay them what we want to pay them, right? The TV show isn't getting the ratings that it used to be. We want to make sure that we're cutting our budget at every opportunity. And Kenya Moore is super expensive. She's too expensive for our budget. So let's use this as an excuse to get rid of her. Let's just say that. Let's just have an honest conversation about why you got rid of her. Because seeing what happened last night, if Kenya was let go, she should have been let go. And I'm talking about Brittany. They both should have been let go. There's no possible way you can say that what Brittany did compared to Kenya, that somehow Kenya's actions were above what Brittany did. Comment below. I want to know what you think. It's mind-boggling to me that this is the world that we live in. And got Kenya out here going on an apology tour like she did something wrong. No, baby. All is fair in love and war. When we're at it, we're at it. Okay? When we're at it, we're at it. It's none of that, you know, oh, I'm not going to say this, I'm not going to say that. Especially when we're in a situation where you've started with me. Because as a grown woman, if you had a problem with anything I said, instead of, you know, all of this behind my back and, you know, like, come and talk to me. Hey, Kenya, I was offended by what you said about my ring. I just wanted to get some clarity on the situation. You didn't say that. You didn't ask for clarity, because clarity was not what you wanted. What you wanted was a moment. And your man is not that cute, sis. I'm just saying. Comment below. I'll see you in the next video.